I know it looks like I'm starting another basketball shooter on edit here from that, just because the intro just came before the start of this podcast right here. And as you know, the reason why I shared this particular intro is because the original one that I've had for a long time, I accidentally deleted it, and I used Video Shop to do these titles for all of my basketball shooter on edits, and unfortunately, I accidentally deleted it. I can blame my mental corruption based on what happened on the infamous January 9th incident. I know I have not been the same person since, and since then, I think my mistake rate has just gone super high, and unfortunately, it has led to, what it led to me just accidentally deleting this intro, and there's no way I was going to recover it. So, I decided I did export the intro for what I'm about to do pretty soon, which is the Friendship Park game. That's the one from March 7th from last year. So I do have that, fortunately. So I decided to use that and just export it or import it into Video Shop, and from there, that's when I needed to just make some small adjustments to kind of differentiate the titles you see there. It's never going to look the same as the other one. I mean, there are certain things that are the same. For example, in that intro, it starts off with basketball shoot around, the way it's titled, and the transitioning effects and all that. The transitioning effects are the same for my title and the last part where it has my name on there, as well as but what's different is the dates. So the dates are going to come across as kind of regular with a little glowing effect. They're not going to be flashing to go along with the transitional effects. So I just decided to use a regular text on that one, and I figured it was going to be easier for me because sometimes when I try to make to change the date on the transition effect, it doesn't for whatever reason it doesn't go through. So I had to do it again for the second time until that change actually works, so yeah, I decided to use it as regular text now with a little glowing effect, with a little bit of color, of course, and the same thing for the city of where I'm going to be playing, and whether it's my home court or whether actually, what, after I do this video, I'm going to start duplicating those two, so I can have at least I can have all the home courts, so that I don't have to change every time, if ever, like, I'm playing on the road, and if I start to edit the next game, which is at home, then I can already have another template, a duplicate version where it'll have either Heritage Park, CPE, or Brookhaven Park. So I'll have 3 of those, so I don't have to worry about needing to change the title, the park name every time, just like I've always done here. And so I think I'm going to do that going forward once I finish off with this podcast right here. But yeah, it's unfortunate that I had to delete or accidentally delete the template in the Video Shop, but I just had to, I want to say start over, but I just had to use what I have, including the one that I exported. I just took that and put it into Video Shop, and just decided to make amends to some of the title changes, which I did. So I'm gonna do the same way for all of my home court games, where I will duplicate these templates. All right, so I'm gonna do that going forward. I know it's just an accident. Just things happen. I know my 2026 has already been rough, and it's getting even rougher after that incident. But I don't even go too much off topic here. So, but yeah, once again, I'm not doing the basketball shoot around edit on this video. Obviously, I'm going to do that one separately. So, once I finish off this podcast, I'll definitely get into the Friendship Park one, and what you saw here, like in the very beginning of this podcast. And once again, it's not a basketball shoot around edit I'm doing, right? Or, or this video that you're seeing. But that one is going to be for Olinda Ranch once I finish off a Friendship Park. Remember that 3-game road trip that was supposedly brutal, and I ended up being 2-1 in that trip, right? So, yeah. Anyways, I want to be quick here. As you see right here, it's a picture that I took from online, and it shows a dude just doing his dishwashing job, and it has a happy face. I'm not going to show his face in there, right? Here it's I almost feel like, and this is happening today, and even sometime just having to wash dishes here and there, and sometimes just taking so long because there's so many dishes to wash, like it was today. That makes me think, man, why not just have a dishwashing job, right? I remember Jeff and Chris, both had dishwashing jobs in their previous jobs in what was it, Clarion Hotel. That's where they used to work at. Now, according to online, according to Google, Clarion pays now, I think 14, like the typical pay rate is 14 to 17 bucks if anyone was going to start there. But I think recently it became 18 to 20. So I mean, imagine I'm already 18.50 in my dump, and the fact that it's been constantly slow. Me, just most of the time, just sitting there, especially in the second half of the day, where it's just so god awful. Like, it's just dragging, and it makes me just want to pull my hair on, just knowing it's never going to be busy the same way it used to be. And the fact that my role is total shit as a quote unquote graphic artist, when I'm really a fake graphic designer, and they're just not growing for the life of me. I figured, why not just be a dishwasher, right? At least I want to be busy all the time. I mean, I've heard Jeff complaining about his goddamn his role in the dishwashing job. He says it's too much. Well, hey, give that role to me. I can definitely handle it. It's something different, and it keeps my mind occupied and just not so distracted like I'm in my dump. And if I'm just, let's say if I'm having a bad day outside of work, and if I got to come in, just put my mind into like a role like this, or it'll keep me occupied and focused, just knowing that there's so many dishes to wash. Hell, I'm already doing more work here at home. It feels like I'm doing work. I'm at work at home more than I am in my dump. All right. So I'm sorry. That's just the reality, and it has been the reality for the last few years. Just knowing that it's been so damn slow, especially after almost 20 people left in 2023. So I'm just saying, I would prefer any other job, even it's a non-graphic design job, where it'll keep me pretty busy all day. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's the second half of the day after I take my lunch. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it'll benefit me. It'll keep my brain occupied, so it'll distract me from ever thinking negative thoughts, especially if I'm dealing with some personal issues or what have you. At least it'll keep me busy. This will be like, these are true exercise the mind jobs, not this piece of shit place this polished turd that, where everybody's just sitting down, and a lot of times, like, you hear the sales just team just kicking back and relaxing, excuse me, because there's really hardly anything going on in the second half of the day, damn near every day. I mean, you got people load managing, and like more than half the time, it's just barely even half just being gone. And there's only just several people that show up. I came in on time. I've been coming in, well, sort of on time, but I've been coming in a little bit earlier than was previously, and there's no front desk there. I don't see a receptionist there. It wasn't like back then when every time I come in, the receptionist Jess at the time was there. You know what I'm saying? Everyone showed up. Not anymore in this piece of crap place. That's why I need to leave. I'm sitting there on my phone, just doing my shit. Yes, doing my basketball shooting around edits. I mean, it's useless just being in that dump, dude. I'm just sitting there and just, doing my thing. And it's like, everything is just so predictable. The routine is so predictable. That's why, I figured, why not do what Chris and Jeff used to do, a dishwashing job. Hell, I'll apply at Clarion. I'm pretty sure they're going to pay me at least 20 or more an hour. Fuck my 1850. I'm in my 13th year in this dump. The way that I'm getting my raises, it's not fair that, I started out with 50 cents like the first 6 years, and then only to see that I had to demand a freaking raise in 2022 where I've been given a dollar raise finally, when it should have been that way at the beginning of this year. But it is what it is at this point. So, it's not fair that, when I go home, or if I'm at home, I'm more busy and just doing more stuff out here at home as it has been, than in my dump, where it just never feels that way anymore. I'm sitting there just more than half the time just chilling, versus when I get here at home, there's always stuff to do. And even if it means me just washing dishes and being there for like more than half an hour, right? Hence why I just made this podcast. I'm like, hey, you know what? Why not do a dishwashing job? Like I said, it'll keep me occupied, and for the entire shift, and I think I can just feel good about myself just doing something like that, or just even stocking shelves, just anything to keep me busy. I'm not sitting there at my fucking desk just going through the same routine, the same predictable routine, where it doesn't benefit me for anything anymore, especially as a graphic designer. I'm sorry. So I might as well just go for a regular job at this point. Fuck graphic design. Fuck trying to apply for any more graphic design. So it is what it is. I'm looking for a regular job at this time. So why not just take advantage? I'm gonna leave it at that. Let me see if I can apply for a dishwashing job. I'm pretty sure I don't need no fucking resume for that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna look into it. Let's see if I can be able to work on their previous hotel, which is their hotel that they worked at before, which is Clarion. All right, let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching, everyone. Like, share, and subscribe.